AITA for telling my parents I'm allowed to resent the times they dragged me to another state to do nothing so my step-siblings could see their family. When I, 17F, was 5, my mom married my stepdad. My stepdad's first wife died a few years before that, and my step-siblings, 8, 10, and 11, back when my mom and stepdad got married. For the first year, they'd go to their maternal grandparents 2 or 3 times a year for a week and longer in the summer. But then after the first year, my stepdad didn't want them to go alone, so my parents made the decision that we'd take a road trip and stay for as long as my step-siblings were visiting with their family. They'd stay with their grandparents whenever they visited, but saw a bunch of family. My mom's stepdad and I would stay in these really cheap, tiny places, and we did nothing, except my stepdad, who'd go to someplace with Wi-Fi and work from his laptop. But that was it. The few times we'd see my step-siblings while we were there, it was obvious they were being spoiled. The thing that bothers me the most now that I'm older is that we didn't see them much, and they didn't stay in the same place as us, so all it did was rub it in that they had this family who loved them and spoiled them, and they got to have so much fun, and I was bored out of my mind and left waiting to drive back with them. I did get jealous. It wasn't so bad at first. I'd be a little jealous when they left and came back with stuff, or when they got all these extra birthday and Christmas gifts, but it wasn't all that extreme. But I got really resentful after a few years of staying in awful places and doing nothing for weeks at a time while my step-siblings had a blast. My stepdad asked a few times if I could be included in places they'd visit, and my step-siblings' grandparents always said no. My stepdad didn't even ask privately. I'd hear him ask and hear the no, so it sucked even more, and I was embarrassed and hurt for a while. Then it got more awkward when my stepdad would join for a BBQ or lunch at the step's grandparents' house. We'd all go, and my stepdad's relationship with his first wife's family was weird, and those people couldn't have been more obvious that they didn't want us there. I was left watching kids play together while I was ignored except for my mom and stepdad. My mom made excuses about why we did it, and she'd tell me it wouldn't last forever. When I got older, I pushed back on the weeks of my life spent like that, while my step-siblings got to have fun. My mom claimed the reverse was true, but she could never say when. I had no extended family. My dad bailed the second he found out mom was pregnant with me, and his family didn't want to get to know me either. We weren't wealthy, so I didn't do summer camps or extracurriculars. Maybe we could have afforded it if we weren't spending money on places to stay when my step-siblings went to their family. I'd hoped the end would come when my step-siblings move out, but the year after the youngest one left, we still followed them out. This is only the second year we haven't done it. But my parents talk like they want to do it again, and the other day when they were talking about it, I blew up and said I won't go with them again. We argued, and they told me the resentment was unfair, and I needed to let it go, that I don't have a good reason to resent them. I told them I'm allowed to resent them after they dragged me to another state in slime holes where I got to do nothing for weeks at a time. I told them they had no idea what that's like for a kid to go where they're not wanted and sit doing nothing while all the other kids get to have fun. My parents told me we do things for family sometimes. I said that was nonsense.